So now we're moving into the new soft group 4s, and we're going to start with RGT Bairstow. Yeah, I mean, I think we also have Stokes as well, which we'll come on to. Both of these varieties, they're just taking the yield parameters up slightly for the soft group 4s and giving a slightly higher yielding option for growers. I think, yeah, once again, unfortunately, Cougar has crept into the breeding lines on it. So certainly, as things stand at the moment, Bairstow has a much stronger septoria resistance than some of the previous Cougar crosses that we've looked at, but clearly it is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on and keep monitoring going forward. Bairstow, it's generally pretty flexible. The one thing I would say, probably doesn't want to be sown too early or very early, but it will suit most drilling slots, and it's good on light and heavy ground as well, and yeah, certainly has distilling approval too, so it will be quite a good all-rounder for a lot of situations.
Looking at the leafing here compared to the swallow and what we've seen before there, you know, although there is septoria there, it's definitely visibly not as evident there, is it?
When we first came in a few weeks ago, for a while, it was definitely lower down. It wasn't as high up the plant as it was on some of the others. So even though it has got this Cougar as a direct parent, I don't think it's been as badly affected, and you can see that's the evidence in the. Even now it has crept up a bit, but it's not as bad as it was.
You can see it's quite tall in the untreated, but again, going back to like skyscraper, it responds to PGRs. You know, I always talk about varieties that do respond and don't. We'll come on to some later that don't. This one, you know, you can see evidently there it's responded to that.
And that's what I was saying earlier, David, that if you can manage skyscraper, then you can manage something like this. The straw strength is fairly similar, but as Laura said, we're now looking at varieties that have just started to overtake skyscraper on yield. So this is actually higher yielding in the northern skyscraper. Slightly better on disease, similar growth habit, so you can manage it the same way. Why wouldn't you grow Bairstow if you can grow skyscraper?
Well, it looks like a great all-rounder, doesn't it?
Yeah, very good one. Very good one, David. I think the only thing we have to watch out for with, or be aware of with both this one and the next one, is the spec weights are a little bit lower than ideally we'd like to see it. I don't know whether this is all part of the Cougar heritage as well, because Cougar itself, its main weakness as a variety back in the day was that it did have a very good septoria resistance, but it was a low spec weight variety. And some of the crosses we are seeing that lower spec weight come through. It's in the 75s. It's not. It's almost 76. It's not a disaster. But you know, in an ideal world, you'd perhaps want to see it a bit higher. But I think Bairstow looks a really interesting variety for the soft 4 market in Scotland. And again, needs to be managed, but looking good to me.